Okay. Sarah. Sarah talking to Michael here. Woo! He filled that up quick, didn't he? Hello, Jay Fizzle. Okay, so Sarah talking to Michael. Here's some things he says. He says he passes before his time. He tells me he passed really suddenly and unexpectedly. He goes, and then he talks about the last few minutes of his passing, and it looks like this. It's sunshiny, and then it feels like something goes all the way through him, and then so he goes, sorry, he has horrible handwriting. He goes, I kind of felt it go all the way through my body, like a surge, or just all the way through my body. Then nothing. That's what I felt, Kato. I felt the sensation of going, oh shit, and then nothing. By the time I was tuned in to the oh shit, you know how you have to go to an internal place to like feel that depth? He goes, by the time I went to the internal place, there was nothing. So that's what the experience, the sensational experience was. Okay, he said that toward the end it felt like between, I don't know why I'm saying this, between realization of what was happening and the final moment, it goes 3, 2, 1. So I don't know if that's a countdown or if that's a moment of realize, like, oh god, this is the end. Oh crap. And then you watch it go out. I don't see a lot of pain. I don't think there's physical registration of pain. You feel what's happening to your body. You see it coming seconds before it ends up happening. He said, I had awareness, but it happened in a tragic way and very quickly. He also says you didn't get a chance to say goodbye, and you may have found out maybe via a phone call or somebody telling you, and I literally get this, oh, I got shivers all down my body. And he says, disbelief, like we didn't believe it, or it's like what do you mean, or I just saw him, or this is a guaranteed cue, but we are almost done for the day, so I appreciate you wanting to be here and be a part of it. That's for sure. She said he had awareness, but only in the last few seconds. It happened really tragically, very quickly. You didn't get a chance to say goodbye. There wasn't a lot of warning time. Honestly, I can't tell if it was on purpose or not. It almost seems like we don't know. We don't even understand. Excuse me. Woo! We don't even understand. Like, by the time we can reassess what's really happening, it's already over. So there's awareness, but here's another analogy, like, oh, a giant, huge, life-size knife. Why is it? Oh, it just went right through me. What the fuck? So it's like by the time you were like, hey, look at that. What happened? And she goes, he passed quick, I think. What did he pass from? It seems situational, caused by an environmental thing. It went all the way through, then nothing. 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, tragically, he had awareness, but it came over him. He overdosed. Oh my gosh, he ended up, oh, he goes, it was contained into an environmental thing. He knew exactly what was going on. Okay, he just had this was timing. Remember when I said, it was a couple readings back, whoever we were talking to, the one that was driving too fast. And I was like, when it's timed, that's the second time this has happened today. I love how many readings we've done today because it has shown some sensory things that's very similar. Remember when I was like, this reading, oh, I'm never going to find it. Okay, it's right here. It was Allie's reading. And then he goes, I was going about my business. And then it's kind of like lights out. What are you doing here? You know, when you can be tuned in so centrally and then you see people on the other side, okay? So he was so tuned in. I was going all the way, and then all of a sudden I felt it happening to my body. What do you mean it's slicing me in half? Oh, hey, we're in this cycle. And what happened to this guy? Yeah, he's the one that got really high, and then the tree branches broke around him, and he came crashing down. And then this one is the one where he's like super in that moment, in that same situation he's always been up to, and then he kind of feels it going right through him, and then sensationally he's like 3, 2, 1, which means he did it again, did it again, did it again. He had awareness. He may have been high during this, but this all happened very tragically. It was contained within his environment, which tells me Michael's okay. He's at peace on the other side. Hello, Jessica. Are you going to my show in Duluth? You live around that area, aren't you? Don't you? And so he talks about this being something he's done for a very long time. Honestly, if you would have asked him in the moment, he would say, I've got a hold of this. And even as, like, I have a hold of this situation. Don't worry about me. And then he also talks about when we get the call, because, he probably passes at home or with somebody's doing. He passes in a very comfortable environment, he tells me. And then he also tells me that we get the phone call, no way, thought he was clean, thought that this wasn't something we were going to have to go through. What do you mean? Are you sure? I thought he was done with that, okay? And so he talks about it being a repeating cycle and eventually him just walking right into it. I would not say that this was intentional or this was a purposeful way to end our own life. I think that we do it for the millionth time and then we get so locked within ourselves and we acknowledge that it's happening and then poof, gone. He passed in our house in the bathroom, and his dad found him. So is this your brother or something? Why is so many people's brothers coming in? So he passed in our house, and his dad found him. And the way we found out, not feeling like we got a chance to say goodbye, and him being in a contained environment, and him telling me that he's in a very comfortable place. He's at home or in a very comfortable place. It was contained. He passed in our house in the bathroom, and his dad found him. Oh my goodness. This is a stepson for you. And so he's talking about something he had done for a while, a cycle that had really been set into place, something that he never intentionally would have done, like take himself out. It absolutely was not that. He was going through the sensations. He had an awareness. He felt it working on his body, and he passed in a tragic way. He wants to apologize for I think he tells me, he goes, we thought it was less than that. So we didn't think it was such a problem, or he got really good at hiding things. He tells me it had just happened. We were sleeping and we woke up to that. And then he has his eye closed and he goes, 3, 2, 1. And I'm sure that even especially the dad, maybe even you, are potentially even like, we could have seen the signs, we should have known. No, it's intentionally being kept from you. There's nothing that we could have done. He had awareness, but it's a tragic thing that ended up happening, and he even says it 2 times. Suddenly, unexpectedly, and that's where the tragedy comes in, okay? We had awareness he was doing it, but sounds like you guys are already putting in a lot of effort. Sounds like there's already times where he's clean. Sounds like there's already a reason for him to have to hide it because he knows. So, listen, you, Dad, well, you can't take responsibility for this. He takes responsibility for this, and he's just a baby. So, another thing with that, he's at peace, he's transitioned, he's okay. He was a baby with a problem, and a baby with a problem a problem like that started even babyer. Started like 14, 15, So he is not, that's not even adulthood before you're under that human blanket of drugs. So there's no karmic withholding or level of not transitioning for this guy, absolutely okay. Visits you in dreams, messes with electronics. I feel like he may have even had like a close call a previous time before, to be honest.